Jesus bless you. I want to start with a couple of verses. Matthew 18:15 through 17. But if your brother sins against you, go and reprove him between you and him alone. If he hears you, you have gained your brother. But if he does not hear you, take one or two more with you, so that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may stand. But if he fails to hear them, tell it to the church. And if he also fails to hear the church, let him be to you as the nations and the tax collector. Something I got last night, Ezekiel 32:7 through 9. When I say to the wicked, O wicked one, surely you shall die, and you do not speak to warn the wicked one from his ways. That wicked one shall die in his iniquity, but I shall require his blood from your hand. But you, if you warn the wicked one from his way, to turn from it, and he does not turn from his way, he shall die in his sin, but you have delivered your soul. When you take these verses that I just gave, and then you study Romans 14, for example, or many 1 Corinthians, 1:4. You have to be able to hear. This is where you have to be able to know how to divide his word rightly, and where that needs to be written on your heart. How to hear from him in these situations, how you're supposed to handle things that come up by his Holy Spirit, making sure that he's the one leading you. Every time I've posted a video, I mentioned this in a video earlier today, but every time I've posted a video here on YouTube, I've lost at least 1 sub, usually more. None of these people contacted me to offer me a reason or correction. I don't think that's biblical, and I definitely don't think it's of his spirit. They call me brother one day, and the next they unsub me and scramble to remove all my videos from their page, unfavored anything they had favorited, and just hope to goodness no one knows they ever even knew me. Just because there is some personal touch lacking in this video world that we're dealing with, should we act any less compassionate than if it was on a one-to-one basis? I mean, I'm a tough cookie, don't get me wrong. I mean, I spent 15 years of my life selling door-to-door products, knocking doors all day long for a living. I mean, I faced more rejection in the average day for years upon years. Every single day, I faced more rejection in a day than most people would take in a year. I mean, it's pretty hard to knock me down. That job definitely prepared me for some of the things he's having me do right now. But I'll tell you, many of you Christians here on YouTube are just brutal. Just brutal. I mean, whatever. I could take it, like I said. To a certain degree, I have to confess even welcoming it. I mean, if what I'm saying is accepted, I'd worry about the message, to be honest with you. If you find me awkward, unentertaining, a little crazy, I'd completely understand. Unsub by all means. No hard feelings. But if you called me a brother, at least give me a warning before you treat me like a tax collector. And I'm not just talking about me, I'm saying how we deal with other brothers and sisters here on YouTube. I mean, recently I did encounter a situation, a yucky situation, in which I had to consider someone I really love, someone that had done a lot for me as a publican, as a tax collector. Their sin, their error is grievous. They endeavor to hide it, and it affects many in a very harmful way. I went to them several times in private. It's not a debatable matter. It's a serious matter. They are in sin. But I was firmly resisted and even belittled. Several of us tried to go to him in a group. With much love and regret, we had to do this when he refused us. I mean, he denied to even hear us as a group. I must now view him as a tax collector. I deeply pray that he accepts the truth and repents of the path that he's on. I make this video not to gripe, but to suggest that although there comes a point we may have to pull away from a brother or sister, we need to do it in love and by His Spirit. I don't see it done that way usually. And the way people treat other believers, well, frankly, I see a lot of cowardice. People unsub because of minor points of doctrine or jealousy, or even just because they had their altars messed with. Then they, like cowards, try to hide any trace that they ever knew this person, take down all their videos that they had in favorites, or that they had thumbed up, and make it like they never even knew this person. And usually there's not even any correspondence with the person that they did this to. No talk about the issues at hand. God sees this, and He does not like cowardice. Worrying about how others perceive us. Like I said, I'm just saying, I get that this is a video world, but there is a body here, and we need to treat it as such. Employ His Spirit. Correct. Try to understand. Try to sharpen each other. I don't believe we should disfellow or publicanize our brothers and sisters on minor points of doctrine. And we should follow the steps laid out in His Word and be led by His Spirit. Jesus bless you. Love you all in Jesus.